something with it.
That's fine. As long as it's there, yeah, I guess so.
At least it's on. Well, at least right now it's on Amazon.
Yeah.
Freebie with ads, but it still counts.
Well, that's fine. We can figure that out. But I do want to say welcome everybody to another episode of Specrapular.
Everybody, if you want to feel the beat,
Yeah.
we're here today to watch some films. These are the beat breaks.
Okay. We are a podcast that talks about movies and shit, mostly shit. I am one of your hosts, Brandon Aquino, and I am joined by my best friend and pal and buddy-o friend, Mike Vera.
Hey.
Hey. How are you, Mike?
Doing pretty good, man.
You don't sound sickly.
No.
It's kind of me. I sound nasally. Even though I haven't sneezed at all today. I haven't done anything, so I don't know what's going on. But you hear that? I can do it too.
You hear those? Yeah.
I shouldn't have smoked those 6 packs of cigs before you got here, but fuck. How many cigarettes come in a pack?
20.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's so many cigarettes in that small little.
Yeah, I think they're like
addictive.
Like $9.50 a pack too.
That's not that bad.
It used to be $5.
Well, it probably used to be 3. It probably used to be like.
Oh, yeah.
I remember when my mom, because she smoked heavily, she'd buy the cartons, and she'd go through that in like less than a week.
That's not good for her.
Oh, fucking A, you best believe. And I mean, remember that old commercial? But that old lady, I'm 36 years old, and she's like breathing through her throat. That was traumatizing to me. Yeah.
Well, she's most definitely dead.
Oh, definitely. So I'm just speaking ill of the dead. But anyway, we are continuing the ABCs of Specrapular, and we are doing W.
Fucking down to the
Final Four.
Final Four.
There you go. We're doing W and X today, which is Who Framed Roger Rabbit and X-Men Days of Future Past. Now, I want to say really quick, both of these movies, so fucking good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually bought Who Framed Roger Rabbit Special Edition because of this, like watching it again. Like, because watching the movie...
You bought a Blu-ray?
I have a Blu-ray, everything. I don't have the 4K stuff.
No, I'm just saying you literally bought a physical copy?
Yeah. Because it had audio commentary with Zemeckis, and also
cool.
because I won't typically buy something.
They should do one with Spielberg. Is he on there too?
I don't know. It said there's a couple people's names, but once I saw Zemeckis, it was the full movie commentary. I was like, all right, I'll do that. But let's start off with it. So, Mike, why don't you tell us a little bit about Who Framed Roger Rabbit, who's in it, a synopsis and stuff.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit from 1998? What? 1988.
There it is.
What? 88. Okay. Directed by Robert Zemeckis, written by Jeffrey Price and Peter Seaman.
Ooh, that's a fun one.
Oh, Petey Jizz.
Oh, Petey cum.
A tune-hating detective is a cartoon rabbit's only hope to prove his innocence when he is accused of murder.
Perfect.
Have I done that before?
No, that sounds like Conan.
No, it's Riders in the Storm. Oh, yeah. Starring Bob Hoskins as Eddie Valiant, Christopher Lloyd as Judge Doom, Joanna Cassidy as Dolores, with the voices of Charles Fleischer as Roger Rabbit, Kathleen Turner as Jessica Rabbit.
Oh, that's her. For some reason, I was thinking it was, what's her name from Chinatown?
Faye Dunaway?
Yeah, because it had that deeper...
Right.
And then I couldn't help watching this movie and thinking of Chinatown 2, China Harder, about the transportation and the highway. Because I think you had mentioned that after you did Chinatown. And then we also talked about, was it Two Jakes? And how that wasn't that bad of a movie, but definitely wasn't Chinatown. Let me tell you.
No.
Even this was better than Two Jakes.
Yes.
Ton better, but... Because that was, like a 20-year difference when they did that? Like, they did Chinatown and Two Jakes?
I thought it was 10 years.
Oh, was it that bad? I thought it was early 90s, and I thought they did Chinatown at, like, 79.
Oh, no. It had to be earlier than that.
Okay. Doesn't matter. All right.
No big deal.
So anyway, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Like I said, I bought this. It was when the movie was over, and I was like, you know what?
Oh, you're right. 1990.
Okay. I was like, I really fucking like this movie.
Yes.
And...
you and everybody else.
Yeah. Oh, so you don't?
Huh?
You don't like Who Framed?
No, I'm saying everybody loves it.
Okay. So why do you love it?
Well, I saw it a quadrillion times when I was growing up.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's almost undescribably not even a real number. That's how many
it's an imaginary number.
Yeah.
Cajillion. Wait, I know the phrase cajillion. I wonder if it's an actual number. Probably it's probably like one with like 40 zeros behind it or something like that.
Sure.
But I don't... I want to say...
Say it.
I remember seeing it as a double feature at a drive-in movie with Batman.
The Michael Keaton?
The Michael Keaton original Batman.
Okay.
I think they came out the same year, right?
Something like that. Yeah, 88.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
So I want to say that's...
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Let's get nuts. I want to say that's how much I remember seeing it, but I don't really remember having it on VHS because I can't picture the VHS box in my hand.
It had the car
with like a brick wall behind.
Yeah,
and they're in the taxi.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I do.
I don't think Bob Hoskins was on the cover at all. It was just Roger and Jessica.
Really? I thought it was Raj, Jessica, and Bob like all in the car together.
I don't think so. I don't. To be fair, I don't fully remember because maybe I'm also associating the Blu-ray, which only has Roger, Jessica in the taxi.
Oh,
it doesn't have Hoskins on that either. Which Hoskins, I mean, he did so good.
Well, I mean, so anyway, like growing up, I don't remember how I saw it, but I saw it a whole bunch of times growing up.
A fuck ton is also a good measurement.
A shitload, a fuck ton.
Yeah.
Ass load.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you got to incorporate the ass. Yeah. An ass pounding amount.
She had a great ass.
That scene is so weird in Heat, right? That was Heat. Yeah, that was so fucking weird.
Yeah.
And
I think that's just his style as a detective to keep like witnesses and people off balance.
Yeah, I get it.
Because he yells at him, he yells at the guy at the auto place.
So I think what you're saying is he's not a very kind detective.
No,
he's a dickhead, which is very telling of Al Pacino.
Play a little bad cop, fucking insane cop.
Yeah, or a bad cop, angrier cop, insane cop. I think Nick Cage could probably do that pretty well too. Nick Cage can go unhinged pretty gnarly. So let's talk about the movie a little bit. Go ahead.
You saw it as well many times?
Yeah, I saw it as a child. Yeah, I think it was my father that first turned me on to this movie, and because cartoons, and not realizing how traumatizing this movie could be to a child.
That fucking shoe.
I fucking wrote this shoe. Let me find the exact note that I wrote. Can't watch it. I think it is. So there's two notes about the shoes real quick. The boots were walking like Hitler's Youth because they're like, like they're doing that. So I was like, okay. And then the shoe melting scene was frighteningly horrible even now.
Yeah.
And because not only is the shoe going like it's in pain, and then when he takes his glove out, it's like the red of the shoe is on the glove. So when I remember seeing that as a child, I was like, Dad, make this stop. And I don't...
It's like fucking blood on the asphalt just on his head.
Yeah, like Jesus Christ.
For some reason, I remember... Did I just see that right now? But it said Nancy Cartwright did like the noises for the
Is she that shoe? Old?
She's I guess super fucking old.
I guess so, because she's Bart Simpson, and Simpson started. Yeah. So that can kind of line up. Yeah, but that's rough.
Yeah,
that is rough. Anyhow, so the premise of this movie is Bob Hoskins is a private detective, and he used to be. It was a duo, him and his brother, or the Valiant
Brothers.
Bravo. Okay, and he gets hired to take photos of Jessica Rabbit playing Patty Cake, and Patty Cake to a tune is a cartoon is something that's like basically like intercourse. Because when
is that what they're saying?
Well, because when Roger's like, he's showing the photos, he's like, and he's going through them, which I thought was funny because he's going through each. Valiant did not take the photos that fast, mind you, and he's going through them as if it was like 24 frames, and I was like, okay, that's funny. But the way he took that was like, he's cheating on her, or she's cheating on him, when in reality, she was who was it? Not Acme, the head of the movie, the head of Monroe or whatever his name is. He told her that she had to do that with Acme so he can blackmail Acme to give up his rights to Toontown, and because if she didn't, then Roger would never work in the industry again. So she was doing that for him ultimately. But really, she was just playing patty cake. And so Valiant was hired to take those photos, and then he gets roped into everything because Acme, the man, is killed. He gets a ton of bricks dropped on him or something like that, right? And like kind of comedically, right? Like a cartoon would have.
Could have been safe.
Right.
Or piano.
Yeah. And then his head pops up and he has piano keys in his mouth. And So Bob Hoskins is roped back into it because Roger comes to him to help clear his name. So does the baby, that very sexist baby.
Yeah.
But we'll stop there. So we'll talk about some notes that we have. That's about like maybe a quarter of the way through the movie.
Right.
So one of my first...
It's just a noir tale of mystery, sex, corruption, and murder.
I was hoping you'd say patty cake.
Patty cake.
Yeah, instead of sex. Because there's no sex in this movie at all.
Well, you know.
Anyway.
But Jessica is the femme fatale.
I mean, she is... There's so much porn about her, too.
That was my note!
Like, there's so much pornography about her. Like, it's...
I just had, like, the main characters, and I just put Jessica... And it just says, imagine all the animated porn out there for her.
There's fucking tons of it.
Which I have not seen. Not that I'm opposed to it, but
just look up Jessica Rabbit on Pornhub. Yeah. All right.
I like, there's always like those banner ads, and it's like fucking Marge blowing Homer.
Or,
like,
or
I don't
like
need
fucking,
to see this.
Or the Family Guy.
Yeah.
Bryan fucking Lois or something like that. It's like, Jesus Christ. But I wrote that this movie is way ahead of its time. Like when it comes to, well, the technology. Yes. Having like, it wasn't, I don't think it was green screened either.
No, it was cell animation.
Yeah. So like that's fucking
well, it said
tough.
they had done, there had been some CGI in some other movies, but they're like, it would be way too hard to render for this movie.
Yeah.
It's so complicated.
Yeah.
So they filmed all their live action, and then they gave them like I forgot what they called it, but it's like just a black and white version of the film. And then they would literally put their paper over and then hand draw all the drawings. And then like they did like some weird lighting. They added some layers of lighting to kind of try to match the...
You could tell.
The like animation to the lighting that was in
whenever
the
live action person was there and then there's a cartoon version, you can see like there's like a slight like line difference or sort of like a shade difference to it. But at the same time, it's still way ahead.
Yeah.
And something that you'll never see again is Warner Brothers and Disney together in a movie like this.
Well, they needed Spielberg to go to everyone and ask them for permission.
Which I'm sure Spielberg, to Spielberg, like, all right, man, fuck it.
But I said there were some that they couldn't get, so.
Well, when you get the main ones.
Yeah,
when
that's all you need.
Yeah, you get Mickey, you get Bugs, you get Donald.
You got
you. Let's see here. That whole long scene for Roger at the beginning with the baby, it says that was all one take, apparently. Is what they're trying to sort of establish. No, like for the cartoon, because when they say
right.
Yeah, and like all that wasted because he couldn't do stars. I was like, motherfucker, there's so many different cuts in this that there's no way that you couldn't have just used. I understand. But I really like that scene how Roger was like, please, don't do it again. Like how I feel like in real life, I'm sure there's many actors that they like stride for the approval of the director, right? Especially if it's a known director. Like, give me another chance. And it kind of made me sad.
I got a lot of that from Barry this last season.
Okay.
Like just the fucking depths.
Of Barry trying to get the approval of...
No, of his girlfriend when she's making her show.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Like all the sycophants and just the fucking...
The algorithm said... That is no... Actually, that wasn't that was the second to last season. That was season 3. Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because season 4, she's not doing the show. She's already out of it. She's already.
Oh, she's on the plane to Missouri or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
That she leaves.
All right. Whatever.
Yeah. So get your shit together.
Late in Barry. How about that? Is that good enough
fine.
for you?
That works fine. So, but like really, that's a sad thing to me that I'm sure there's many actors, or maybe not, maybe C or B actors that like this is their chance. They have to like get it, and it makes me sad.
That's how fucking Harvey fucking thrived for so long.
Oh yeah, of course.
Just.
Like he would threaten.
Yeah, threaten.
Or I'll give you if you don't do this, I won't give you this role, or I'll give you this role if you do this. Yeah, it's disgusting. Drinks bought. Okay.
Imagine how much worse it was in like the 40s.
Oh yeah. I mean, no social media, and being a woman is fuck you. Like you have no say in anything like this. Like I'm sure those dudes are going to Pound Town every fucking day. Mm-hmm. Casting agents and shit like that. So Bob Hoskins, the way he drinks his bottle. He does that whole mouth thing, and I hate it. Like, he puts his mouth over the whole opening of the bottle, and so he's backwashing when he puts it back. I can't stand that. Like, when I drink a bottle, I leave that little bit of air on top so that way I can drink it quicker, but also that I can close off my mouth so that way I'm not backwashing. But that just bugs me. Like, it's something that I'll point out to people, because, I'm a fucking dickhead sometimes. I'm like, oh, you whole mouth that, huh?
He doesn't have a flask.
He did later.
Oh, did he?
He had a flask with a shoulder, a little holster.
No, he just put a bottle in there.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it wasn't a flask, but he still had the holster specifically made for that type of liquor. Funny. Yeah, that type of bottle. Let's see here. Now, Disney and Warner Brothers will never work together like this again. Let's see.
Wait. Who just bought Warner Brothers?
Not Disney. Your Discovery. It's Discovery,
Disney
Warner
buy?
Bros.
Oh, they bought 20th Century Fox.
Yeah, they bought Fox. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Can't watch this without thinking of Chinatown 2.
Oh yeah.
Which either way, I think Jack or Bob, but I think Jack would have been fine. I think it would have been a little weird looking at it now to think Jack Nicholson in a role like this, but I think he could have played this the exact same way. But Hoskins,
I don't know. Like Hoskins just seems 40s ish.
Think so?
Like he a gruff,
and he's British,
private
correct?
eye. Yeah.
I kind of hope this movie was a little grittier in a sense, like when it comes to the lighting, because everything was kind of bright, and it wasn't.
Maybe they needed that for the animation.
Oh, that's valid.
Way too fucking
That's valid.
harsh.
Yeah, because it's noiry, but not noiry. You know, it's shot like that. It's done that way. It's just not dark, like a noir. A lot of shadows, harsh shadows. Even the club scene. Like when you first meet Jessica, it was, even though it was supposed to be dark, it was still lit pretty well. And
she's like in like half shadowy face a lot
I
of
get
the time.
Well, because her hair is covering the other half of her face pretty much.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. Okay.
Yeah. All the behind the scenes stuff of this movie too. Like you see a little cooch in this and stuff too. Like you freeze frame. Like so, I believe this movie, just like Little Mermaid at that time, they
snuck in little.
Yeah, they snuck in little things. So like Little Mermaid, right? The original cassette VHS case had dicks on it. Mm-hmm. And I believe in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, like there's a scene where Jessica, she's spinning around. You see cooch for like 2 cells or 2 frames.
When they were flying out of the taxi?
No, I think it was either when she... Oh, yeah, that part. Or is it that one? Or when she's on the rope with Roger and they're spinning. Mm-hmm. And you see, yeah. There's, from my understanding, I didn't look into it because I was like, well, I don't want to go in this and get all these links on my algorithm for fucking all this shit. But yeah, there's obviously adult themes in this too. Which even then, as a child watching this, I'm like, I don't know what that means. And, but like I did write some of that stuff down and I greatly value it. So for example, when he says, let me get this on the rocks, I mean on ice. And I never really heard that until now. And then he still gets, I never got that joke because he's like, he
still has rocks.
He still has rocks in it. Yeah. Which I thought was pretty silly because, you know, they're tunes. They're being silly.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to a piano challenge thingy?
Like a dueling piano bar?
Yeah, dueling. Like that's the word I couldn't think of. I said challenge. Yeah, have you ever been to one of those?
A piano off?
Yeah, piano.
Actually, no, I have not.
I think there's a few. I don't know if there's any down here, but I think there's some in LA.
So the only thing about those is people tend to only know like fucking 3 piano songs.
Sure, yeah.
So you're just going to hear fucking Bohemian Rhapsody, you're going to hear Piano Man, and you're going to hear fucking... Don't Stop Believing or some shit like that.
Maybe the crop field from Interstellar. That's very popular.
You'll hear that now, yeah.
Yeah, that's a very popular one.
Time.
Mm-hmm. It's a good song. It is, yeah. Well, even the cornfield one. The cornfield one, like people make those TikToks and all these other things where, oh, I played this song randomly in public and someone came up and played.
Yeah.
Which, you know, it's all staged, which is all bullshit. But, you know, it's for the video. It's interesting. Or like people will watch.
I get sucked into them too, so it's fine.
Oh yeah, like I love piano, and I think I told you this. Like when I write or when I need to focus for work or something, I'll listen to classical music, piano, just so that way I don't hear lyrics. So if I'm writing, I don't accidentally start typing lyrics. Like, ugh. And then I get really into it with the rap and stuff like this. I'm like, yeah, and I get it and they get all hard. Or if I'm listening to Zeppelin or Metallica,
I can't do that. Like lyrical.
I won't sing, but then
while I'm reading,
I can't either. That's why classical music will help. But then classical music makes me a little sleepy sometimes too. Just like explosions in the sky, which I think we've talked about before. These fuckers is just. I think they know that they can just make us millennials sleepy. This movie was PG.
Yes,
which is
fine.
Well, the death scenes alone. So the shoe, frightening. When the judge killed, frightening. Like he gets not only crushed. And like he's screaming in pain. And then when he dies the second time, I was like, all right. Oh, he didn't die a second time. Yeah, when he's melting. Which if he has that rubber exterior, how did he get hit? You know, I thought about that, right? Because he's a tune underneath all that rubber. Because that's how he was able to do that, to look human. He shouldn't have been hit by any of that dip. But
well, it's not like a.
It was a full bodysuit. Like what was left of him?
It's not leaked tight. Like there's holes in the thing.
All right, that's fine.
It's like where it's like only like the top of the shirt. And then when he takes off his jacket, like it's just the like bottom, a tank top underneath.
Because he has a button, so you can't. Yeah, exactly. Or like you're on Zoom and you're wearing nothing, and then you just wear the top. Yeah. So he made a thing about a sugar daddy. He's like, oh, Acme is a sugar daddy, and they're saying it in a negative way. My thought was, what's wrong with being a sugar daddy? Do you see any problem in supporting, whether you're a man or woman, and you're supporting somebody monetarily? That like, do you see like many celebrities like that? Think of
I know, interesting.
Okay, like, do you have problems in that, or
other than getting a little jealous? No.
Yeah.
It's two consenting adults having a particular arrangement. If it works for both of them, like that's, I guess I don't have any issue.
Yeah.
The issue becomes when it gets
physical.
No, like abusive.
Sure.
Not physically, but like emotionally abusive. So it's like the guy becoming too like possessive over the girl. Like that can be an issue. And then the other way where it's just her just using the guy and like not even,
Well,
that's where it becomes.
How do you think that a relationship like that could work? So let's just say.
Oh, do you think I'm saying that they're healthy?
No. I'm not saying that. So like, okay, let's just say you have a sugar daddy relationship with somebody. Right. Is it the type of relationship where it's like you're giving them a monetary value, right? Or let's just say you're giving like that you got them
an apartment.
Sure, you're paying for their apartment. That's $1,200 a month or something like that. Like, what do you think? As a man, I feel like the average expectation is you're seeing nudes, or you're giving up a little bit of sugar in person if you live close enough by. Or
why would you do it any other way?
I'm just saying,
like you're just a schmuck at that point.
Well, then okay, so there's think of OnlyFans then, right? Like you have men and women paying for subscriptions for men and women, or not. I'm sorry, not just anybody, not men and women. So not just identify it like that, but you're giving this person a monetary thing. And granted, there's many people giving the monetary value of it, but do you think that the person that you're paying for owes you anything? Like, it could just be a relationship where it's like, hey, I just want to support you.
That's the thing where it's like adults, so you have to establish boundaries. Right. So you're either... That's a good point.
So my thing is this.
I almost think of like her at that point, where it's like the android, the AI, right? Where she has multiple relationships, I guess you could say, with the guy. Doesn't mean those feelings aren't valid, right? But then there's also those relationships that are just transactional. Like, I want to see a vid of you doing whatever, and I'm going to pay you this amount. There's
show feet, right?
Yeah. And there's no like
I want you to step on a tube of salami, raw salami, like not tubed at all. It's just the loose salami.
I want you to just roll your foot across a thing of toothpaste and like just let it go out slowly.
No, then you as much as you can move your toes, wiggle the toothpaste between your toes. Yeah. And then if you can't reach, brush your teeth.
She's like, this is a thing of Mentadent, so it's like the hard thing. You're like, I don't give a fuck, just push on it.
I sent you that shit. Use it.
That's what it was, right?
I sent you the P.O. box.
That had the two.
Yeah. Like, how old are we?
Pressing the trigger with my foot? Like, that's not... It's only a tube.
Yeah.
I know what I said.
No, that's threatening. But no, that's typically what I would think of.
Yeah, you know
in
what
that
I'm
kind
saying?
of relationship. Yeah, there's a transaction to it.
Yeah.
So...
But not to say that there can't be, like, actual... Like, if you're just, like, chatting with somebody online, like, you can have, like... Going from, like... Yahoo Messenger to OnlyFans, like you can develop whatever.
Like, and that's the thing about it too. Like you brought up jealousy as well. So it's kind of like, okay, let's just say you met this person on OnlyFans, right? And you feel like you have that connection with your messaging between them and stuff like that. And you not only are you paying their subscription, but you're tipping them or whatever. So you're giving them, let's just say, an extra $150 a month. Like if I was doing that, I wouldn't want to know the other people they're talking to, or know of like, oh, I was talking to this guy, because then it's gonna be like, well, fuck. Then they're probably paying that person.
Yeah, but you're smart enough to know that it exists.
Of course. So
that's where I think it becomes sad, where you become possessive about it. Like, dude, everyone knows the score.
Yeah.
And you can live in the little fantasy.
You bought the bathwater, motherfucker. Yeah. Like you bought her.
You got those panties, bro.
Yeah. She wore those for 12 hours.
You're wearing them on your head, buddy. Yeah.
Come on. No, you're not. You're pulling them over. They're in your face. Like you made a custom strap, so it's just on your face. Only at the butthole part. But still. But you're right. You should know what you're getting yourself into. Right. And if you can't differentiate what's what, then of course there's a problem. Yeah. Then you get those guys that are stalking. You get the guys that are like always want to talk constantly, like, hey, I'm giving you fucking money, or I'm paying for your apartment. You need to respond to me within 5 minutes, no matter when, or no matter when I message you or whatever. And that's where it kind of gets, as you say, dicey.
Dicey.
You haven't said that in a while. But
then the other way too, like if it's just like here's like a fucking ankle pick and like here's $40. I'm like, bro, come on, like, what are we doing here?
Well, I mean, I've seen. Like, is
this the 1920s? Are you wearing a fucking horizontal stripe, like full body getup?
I've seen stuff on Reddit where like it'll be like a single photo for like $50, and I'm like, that's rough.
That's rough.
But then those people have thousands upon thousands of followers, so I'm sure they're getting that.
Who's that redhead girl? The famous one? I guess she was an actress. She might have been on Disney shows.
Bella Thorne.
Yeah.
She's a piece of shit. Because I believe, well, she's not a piece of shit, but the way she did her hustle kind of fucked some other people too that had OnlyFans, right? So she joined OnlyFans, and she got
like a million followers
within a day.
Yeah.
And so she made X amount of money, millions of dollars in that one day. And so she cashed out quick. And OnlyFans, it kind of fucked them because at that time you could cash out whenever. And so they had to make different rules that you had to wait until certain increments of time in a month to get the money. So apparently it affected other OnlyFans people, because of course if you're used to a certain way, like after a week and you really need that money, you're in a pinch, you can cash out, but now you have to wait until the end of the month to get it or whatever.
Oh, like a pay period, like a paycheck?
Yeah, exactly. And so that fucked, from my understanding, that's what had happened. And I don't know if she still has it. From my understanding, what I read on Reddit too was that she was like posting not safe for work stuff, just like, her in bras and stuff, which is, I mean, hey, if you're paying for it, you're paying for it.
That's the thing, but just know what you're paying.
Exactly.
Like, that's where it becomes like, oh, see my sexy stuff. And
it's yeah. Or like you look
with like full button, like, which is like one button undone at the top. Like, that's not what I'm paying for.
It's like, because
like you need to know the score too.
When you go to OnlyFans too, like you can go to the bio, right? And you can see like, oh, hey, I'm this, and here's what you're gonna see. Yeah. And then you sub, and then that's still behind another paywall or something like that. So here's what you see if you pay more. And I appreciate that hustle too, like truly. And I've read many horror stories about that stuff because I don't have OnlyFans. I don't participate. I support them, but like I'll read those not horror, but just like guys, very anxious guys will sub thinking they're going to see these things. It's like I paid $15 to sub, and then I have to pay an extra like $15 to see a 30-second video of your feet. I always go to feet because I think feet are funny. Because I think it was in a chat for Twitch one time, and I was just watching it. I think I have a Twitch for Man because I made it for the episode of whatever. What's that episode called? Shit.
Dr. Whatever.
Yeah, when I make fun of Dr. Disrespect, but that's called Run Mambies Run. Yeah. Anyway, on a play of Run the Little Run. God, we gotta just put that. I gotta put that episode. Anyway, so I was watching, and this woman streamer just playing a fucking game. I was cycling through it, so I did look at Disrespect, but he wasn't on Twitch, he was on YouTube. I looked at like people that were playing Crunker and other games, and then I stopped on her because she was playing Crunker, and she had maybe like 15 people watching her. And I do want to go into those lower tiered ones because like to give them those views because they're trying, right? Mm-hmm. And then I wasn't even in there for 20 seconds, and then show feet. Please show your feet. Like just the same guy the whole time. I don't know if he's just trolling her or whatever, like maybe, or maybe he's just fucking creep. And then like I see her read the stuff, and she goes like, and she like rolls her eyes, and I was like, fuck, like I talked about this recently too. It's got to be so fucking tough to be a woman in any field where it's densely populated by men, especially video games. Like it's toxically men, and any woman where she's playing a game and she's dominating, right? Or she's doing really good. Hey, get back in the kitchen and make me a sandwich. That's why a lot of women aren't mic'd. And there's a lot of women groups that'll play that just chat in their group. They don't chat in game because then they're going to get that toxic shit. And there's some
black guys have the same issue, right? Like if they start they just 100%. Get called the N-word.
Yeah, harsh. And
that's why I love that fucking
T-Pain one. Yeah.
I want them all. Give me all those motherfuckers.
Yeah. And it's so troubling because there's many women that I know that play games that are surprisingly good at these. I'm sorry. I don't mean surprisingly.
Wow.
I mean in a sense of like
how
it's
quickly we reveal.
No. The type of games
type of person we
that
have.
that I'll see like okay. So I have like friends that are girls that play Call of Duty. And
girls don't shoot guns, Brandon?
No, they do. They definitely do. What's that fucking idiot's name? Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like she did a thing with guns, and she was like, would you choose this or this? Like, and I was like, she's so fucking. It was like AOC or
yeah.
And I would choose AOC, even if I wasn't democratic. I would still look at that and like that looks disgusting. Like her just trying to look all hard with a gun. That's just stupid. Anyway.
That's just AOC at her mirror going to yoga, right?
I was like, going to yoga, and she's like, would you choose this? And she's wearing like body armor, has like a fucking.
No, she has fucking like. So, talking about X-Men, she has like the Storm white eyes.
I remember
like,
that, but wasn't she holding a gun still?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Like, are you controlling the weather? What the fuck are you doing?
She's the one that made that photo so dark.
Yeah.
She made it all gloomy for her. But like, I have many friends that are girls that play games that, and when they tell me, when I say surprisingly, I say it because the games that they play, I'm like, oh shit, like you play Call of Duty, or you play. I'm not saying that it's just, I would say 1 out of every 10 gamers being a woman, maybe even a little more, but playing those kind of games. Because a lot, I see most of the stuff I see of women playing is like Animal Crossing. They're playing an RPG where it's not, it's not a first person shooter. But then women too are shit on because then they'll say, oh, go back in the kitchen, or, you're using hacks, you're cheating. And I mean, there are many women out there and men that use hacks just so they get followers, so they get that. And that's super shitty too. And you can see how easy it is to spot those cheaters, like with the aimbots and stuff like that. It's just, I'm shooting at you, and then immediately it darts to someone else that's fucking 300 yards away, and you start shooting at that person. Or you'll aim through a wall, and you're like, you shouldn't have known that person was there. It's like, well, how the fuck did you do that? But so that's why I say surprisingly. It's just that I think I'm more used to, like, again, not to say playing a feminine game, but just not those super competitive games. They're playing games that have substance, right? Not games that are just shooting people. And when they play that, sweet. Like, yeah, I mean, those are typical games that I play. It's not that I have anything against Animal Crossing or RPGs. I play those, but not as much as I'll play Call of Duty. Not as much as I play Valorant. Not as much as I'll play, like, killing games. Yeah. Anyway.
Where the fuck are you going with this?
I don't know where I was going with this. So, let's go back to the movie, though.
How did we even get... you're talking about sugar daddies. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. That's how we could tie it all together. Let's see. Used to be super silly. You know how I write my notes and don't write context to it? So I don't remember what I meant by used to be super silly.
Like Bob with his brother was alive, they used to be super silly?
There you go. That's probably it.
Yeah.
And which makes me sad because they were like in the circus together and stuff like that. Obviously you see him.
It's funny, the Bob, or Robert Zemeckis, has used this device in multiple movies where the pan over the set and the items in the set, the
Dusty
photos and stuff like that, just give you the context of the character without them saying it.
Until they do, like
until it has to come to fruition, right? So like he's like, oh, he used to be clown with his brother, stuff like that. That's why at the end of the movie he's able to do the
the gags. Yeah,
my name is I
like when he tried to rhyme too, and he's like,
he's running out of time.
Yeah. So good.
But he knows how to juggle.
Yeah,
That's why he does that stuff. And then also in Castaway, like at the very beginning of Castaway, they're panning over Tom Hanks' like bookshelf and shit like that, and it says like, oh, sailing champion 1993 or whatever like that.
Yeah.
So that's why at the end of the movie he's able to make the boat with the sail, stuff like that.
That movie didn't end well, right? He went to Helen and she already moved on, and he kind of just like, all right.
Yeah.
And she didn't go back to him,
It's
right?
bittersweet.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm back. And so she listens.
It ends on a hopeful note though.
How did it end?
Like he has the package with the wings that the Foxy Redhead made.
Oh, I don't remember that.
And he's at the crossroads. He's like, well, is he going to go deliver the package back to her finally?
Yeah.
And maybe a little something will get cooking.
How long was he gone for? Like 5 years?
4 years, I believe.
Okay. Well said. I like when Family Guy made fun of that, and he kept saying Wilson, and he's like, my name's Voight. He kept saying Wilson.
That's silly.
Let's see here. But yeah, I mean, that made me sad though. But obviously, knowing that he's going to be super silly. But like to have that person in your life. I mean, it could be like a significant other too, or just a loved one, really. Obviously, to them being gone to completely change your life. Like our hearts will just know, like, like it's what it is. So like, I feel like if. Like losing a family member, I know I'll cry, like for sure. Like my dad or something like that, or my mom, absolutely. A brother, probably. Sister, for sure.
Especially if the cops are onto you.
Yeah. The fuzz.
You know what's funny? I just saw the other day the video of he's a murderer and he kills his neighbor. And
what is that?
It was just some guy. He murdered his neighbor, I believe. I think it was his neighbor. And the news is there to like talk to just, oh, we have local witnesses here to talk about their neighbor. He's like, yeah, man, she was cool. Or maybe it was a guy. He was cool. It's kind of quiet, but it's kind of sad. I know they're doing the search right now, but I hope it all works out for the family, stuff like that. And like the news lady goes, well, they did find the body in the car, so maybe they'll lead to clues. And he goes, wait, what?
Because he was the murderer.
Because
he
was the murderer, and he goes,
that.
I need to go sit down. He's like, oh, that's the fucker who did it.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure if it's true or not, but
I remember seeing that. Yeah, I remember seeing something like that.
So
yeah,
it's funny. So when you say that, I'm like, oh, it just came up.
What?
Wait, they what?
They found it already. It's been a 3 hours since the murder. How did you know it's been 3 hours, sir? I need to sit down. Let's see here. The shoe melting scene, horrible.
But it reminds me of like Manchester by the Sea. That fucking bummer of a fucking movie.
That's the not Ben. I'm sorry. That was the Casey.
Yeah, but just like him, like completely distraught. Like just that guy's fucking ruined for maybe the rest of his life. Maybe at some point he'll be able to.
Is it his brother who died?
Kids.
Oh, his kids died.
Yeah.
So who's the other kid that he takes over for?
That's his brother's kid.
Why does he take over the brother's kid?
Because his brother died.
Okay, I get it. Well, yeah, losing your kid or like, you read in the news like a whole family dead except for the dad because the dad didn't go on the trip, like the mom for the Ocean Gate thing. Like, she's the only one left in the family. Like, oy vey. And that's a tough one to have the strength to continue to live knowing that you no longer have your only child, no longer have your husband. And you got to make, life altering, of course, that you could just be stuck with that. You may never remarry, you may never do anything. You'll just be alone potentially. Like, how do you navigate your function? Life? Yeah. So there's a lot to this movie, and again, to think that you lose your brother, who's like your best friend, you've
best friend, business partner,
and
same attitude, silly,
and then lose it. Then now you're suddenly just this drunk. Still doing PI work, but just like the sleazy shit now, not so much the big cases that they've solved. And yeah, that's gotta be fucked. Let's see here.
Plus knowing that something you used to do, or the things you used to work with are the cause of your brother's death. That's why he hates Toon so much.
Yeah. And then there's the baby when he said a 50-year-old's lust and a 3-year-old dinky. I was like,
That's from the novel.
Oh, I don't remember that. I didn't remember that scene. Let's see here, because I believe the novel was more gritty, wasn't it?
It seems a fucking bummer.
Yeah,
like what?
Because they made a couple of them.
Roger dies, and he also did some murdering.
Yeah,
like what the fuck? Yeah. And they're like comic strip.
But it wasn't called Who Framed Roger Rabbit, right? It was
Who Censored Roger Rabbit.
Or something like But
it seems super convoluted and crappy.
Well, just like The Mask. Like The Mask comic was very graphic. He would murder people and stuff like that.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's funny.
And then, but then they made this, and they're like, well, we gotta make this fun. We got Jim Carrey, and then who'd they get next? Jamie Kennedy, and just fuck that shit hard. The attention to detail is amazing. When they use the little Tommy gun, and then just the knob falls, there's like, and then the knob fell off the door. I was cackling pretty hard at that because I thought that was ridiculous. Let's see here. Bob Hoskins is one hairy motherfucker.
He's so hairy.
Not full body coverage, but like he's
pretty.
To have that hair on the back like that, that's very Cro-Magnon.
Yeah.
That's very Neanderthal like of him. And he's also a little man too.
Yeah.
Like he's like probably 5'5", if that, with shoes on. Let's see here.
He's just built like a fucking fire hydrant.
He is sturdy. He's thick.
Thick.
2 C's. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Imagine how hairy his knuckles are.
Like a Cro-Magnon. When the boob hit, when he lifts his head.
Yeah, that's good.
It was like, and he's sorry, I did not remember that scene. I don't remember that at all. But just that he's like, sorry.
I feel like I just watched this maybe like 6 months ago too.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Because it's a good movie.
Yeah, but so it's funny. I was even thinking, do I need to watch it again? Like, I'll watch it again. But I literally just saw it not too long ago.
A French dip was 50 cents. I was like, oh. To be in those times, imagine having our money.
I think Philippe
back then.
Oh my god,
and we would we'd be millionaires.
I'd have
but
a fucking badass house in fucking Pasadena or some shit like
that. The Palisades. Or,
I don't want to live over there, but yeah,
multiple houses. You could have Huntington Beach. You can have a couple properties in Huntington Beach. And
I'd have an apartment. I'd be a slumlord.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
like deal with it. We want heat. And
the AC's not working. You don't need AC in Huntington Beach.
Actually, technically, legally, you don't have to supply AC. You just got to supply heat.
Word?
Yeah,
that sucks.
Yeah,
I mean, I say that, but 9 trillion of the apartments that I worked on only had heaters. They didn't have AC. So yeah, makes
only
sense.
Gotta have heat. Let's see.
I wonder if that's going to change with climate change.
That doesn't exist. What are you talking about?
No, okay, that's a good point.
Yeah,
especially in Huntington Beach.
Yeah. Well, any coastal in Orange County? Absolutely not.
Oh, just that's a fucking bummer sidebar. It was the UFC. It was like their International Fight Week. It's in July. Their big weekend, right?
Okay.
And then like the card starting right, and then fucking Dana White comes walking in with fucking Donald Trump, and people are actually cheering him. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's pretty shitty.
I was like, why do I love this sport? I hate literally every person who's in it.
You've kind of discussed that before, and I've never said that to you too, but I've kind of like these people that they show like, oh, there's a celebrity here, like not good people that they'll show. Like you got Kid Rock, yeah, like just these shitheads. Although apparently he retracted what he said about Bud Light. How he like was against it and shooting the guns against it and stuff, which he was a horrible shot, and somebody else had to help shoot him, like the Bud Light. But apparently he's saying like now he's like, oh, Bud Light, they're one of the best domestic beers. Holy shit! And it's like, are you saying that because nobody's going to your bar now, you fucking loser? But whatever. Why did my screen just flicker? Anyway, really makes sense why the judge would dodge the dip when they knocked over the can.
There's clues.
Yeah.
In the movie. That's like everything. Because that's the issue you have with like noir stories like this. Like if you want the story to be complicated, but if it becomes too complicated, it's hard to follow.
Sure.
Which is funny because like Chinatown is super convoluted and complicated. I'm like, sometimes you kind of lose the thread.
You get incest, then you get the water coming from
the water company, like, and like who's paying for this? Like who's this behind?
Yeah.
But like this one actually unfolds pretty
easily,
clearly,
smoothly,
so you understand.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he wants this to get this because he wants these rights, and he wants these rights.
Yeah,
because
once
the
he
judge
says
wants the
it.
rights. Judge wants the rights because he owns the company. Judge owns the company because he wants to get rid of the trains because he wants to make the freeways.
They plant it all.
It's all
very
laid out
subtle
real
there
nicely,
that you can just watch, and then when the judge says it at the end, it's like, oh, okay, I remember seeing that. They put that Clover thing up over there, and they got bought out, and they got this, and then like freeways,
which is like a nice, like compact, defined story. Not even taking into account like all of like the cool like effects to like get the live action and the animation going at the same time. Like it's just as a story in and of itself, it works nicely.
That Native American bullet was a little rough. Obviously, it's at the time. It's a movie at the time. But when he shot the first bullet, let's see here. The squish of Eddie when he goes in when he goes in the elevator, right? He gets smushed. I'm thinking he would be dead because he's still a human, so he would actually be dead.
Yeah.
Because
I think that's.
I know they're in
Toontown, yeah. The laws of physics kind of.
But still, then why was he scared about dying when he was falling on the top of the building?
That's the thing. Even cartoons are scared about dying, but when they just fall, they just accordion.
Yeah, but he is saying like, oh no, like, and he's talking to Bugs and Mickey. He's like, oh, I'm gonna die, like if I don't get a parachute. And they're like, okay, you sure you want it? Like,
but that's the thing. Like, you can still be afraid even though nothing's gonna happen to you.
No, I don't think so.
Like Wile E. Coyote wasn't happy about falling off the cliff all the time.
Yeah, but he never died. So that's the thing. So Bob shouldn't be dead. Like, oh no. So even then, when Wile E. Coyote fell, like he did the yikes or whatever.
Yeah, he's not happy about falling, even though we know he's gonna live.
Yeah, but he wasn't like, I'm gonna die. He was never screaming. He wasn't goofy that shit like.
Fucking love that.
Yeah, that's good. He was a fucking dog.
I love that Goofy. The exercise Goofy cartoon that he watches in the theater. Fuck, that's a good.
And he watches like Goofy's got it. Like Goofy knows. Let's see here. Did you see that on the wall when he goes in the men's bathroom? It said, "Call Allison," but Allison is spelled differently. Allison. Call Allison, quote, Wonderland, quote, it's the best yet to be, but it's like kind of like a call this for a good time thing. And I was like, oh, Alice in Wonderland. Allison instead of Alice. Bob Hoskins makes me laugh, like when he's doing his bit. Traffic jams, a thing of the past, is what the judge said. And I was like, I wish it was. I really wish it was. Judge getting ran over was horrific. And then lastly, I put Bob Hoskins was literally perfect for this role. What other notes do you have, Michael?
I just love how good Christopher Llyod is.
Fucking A.
So creepy.
Mm-hmm.
So menacing.
Mm-hmm.
I think he said he also tried not to blink during any scenes to add to his creepiness.
Okay.
So I enjoyed that a lot.
I do like that he looked he looked jamming. Like the circular glasses, white, even when they took off the hat, he had that blonde hair. So that's why I bought this movie, though. Like, watching it, it's just like, this is, I mean, I know I could probably watch it endlessly on Disney Plus, potentially, unless they change the rights. But, like, I'd rather just own it. And then again, a lot of times when I actually physically buy something, it's because there's audio commentary on stuff. Like Futurama, every episode had audio commentary. I think Simpsons had most, or every episode, too.
Every episode.
Yeah. So it's I know it. You would watch some stuff like that too, but it definitely gives me a better appreciation of like how they, you hear how they get that joke or whatever. It's the same thing with video games. Like there'll be like video game developers talking over like as people are playing the levels. A lot of times it's speedrunners though, and there's one that I saw recently where a guy was playing a Hitman level. Level starts, the guy beats it in like 6 seconds, and the developer's like, it took us over a year to do this level, and this guy beat it in 6 seconds. And
how do you do that? You just throw a grenade? You find a magical grenade and throw it?
It was weird. I was watching it and I was like, how did he aim and how did he hit those 2 targets so quickly? But apparently they were both on balconies or something like that. So he just from really far away, and then he walked out. And I was like, what? But again, to hear that person just the dying inside, it took us over a year to make this level. And then you beat it. And then there's other objectives you can do in the level the higher you play in the skill level. But like, yeah, it's gonna be shitty. Fine. Anyhow, any other notes you got on Who Framed?
I think that was Roger himself. Kind of annoying, right?
Oh, very.
Like, ooh, it's like, oh boy.
Louise.
And it's because he's a toon, I understand, but like the blatant disregard for his own safety and like not realizing the
implications,
the gravity of the situation.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of annoying, but it's fine.
Well, I mean, you get the straight man of Hoskins, and then you get the not straight man as Roger. And if you really think about it, Roger's he's in the movie, but not like a ton. It's mostly around Bob, really. Right. And, which is, I'm sure that saved on some money.
It's good too. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But it's
funny. They talked about a lot of things like, oh, this was planned, but it would have been too hard to do. So we didn't do it. And then when this was planned, but we couldn't do that either. So.
Yeah. Did you watch something that you recently saw?
I was reading.
Oh, okay. So you did read the Roger Rabbit book?
No. God, no. It sounds terrible. I'll check nothing to do with it.
I'll read it. And then I'll be the judge.
Yeah.
I'll be the judge this time. You see that? Anyway.
You hear that, Eddie?
It was me, Eddie! Yeah, when he takes it off, he starts just fucking Barry Gibbon. That's good. Silly. Anyway, so now we're gonna go.
But yeah, I loved it. Yeah. I have loved it. Everyone loves it. Made a fuck ton of money.
Did it really?
Yeah. It was the second highest grossing movie of that year, behind Rain Man.
Rain Man. Tom Cruise. I know this. That's Dustin Hoffman made more money than this movie.
Yeah.
Is it because Tom Cruise was coming up, you think?
I guess so.
And Dustin Hoffman already did The Graduate. Yeah. And, I almost bought that book because the Barnes & Noble nearby was closing. And it was, when I went there, it was like 80% off everything. I was like, sweet. And there's like nothing left. There's a lot of, I was going to say hentai. It was like animes left, oddly enough. But I found that out looking through like the mysteries and all that shit. And I was like, ooh, $3. And I still didn't buy it. I was like, I've seen the movie. I think I got the gist. And I read the last couple pages, and it was similar. So I was like, okay, I got it. And didn't get it. Anyway, I also greatly value this movie. It's lots of fun. So, next we were doing X-Men, Days of Future Past. One of the best X-Men movies, if not the best.
It's funny that you say that, because I disagree with you slightly. Watching this again confirms that X2 is the best X-Men movie for me.
Okay.
Certain little things just bother me about the movie, but not that it's bad. Definitely
well, there are a few things story-wise. I'm like, why did they just do this?
Yeah.
But anyway.
But X-Men, Days of Future Past, this bummed me out, from 2014.
I know,
what the fuck?
Yeah.
We're so fucking old. Oh my God. Directed by, this also bummed me out, directed by Bryan Singer.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't realize.
I don't know if you noticed in the bio when I wrote who did this, I said Bryan Singer, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And whenever there's someone that's like shitty, I'll put like a little note in the bio.
Was he convicted of anything, or just words?
Yeah.
But he doesn't really do anything anymore because he's been excommunicado, right?
Correct, yeah.
Written by Simon Kinberg.
Well, we will say, though, with Bryan Singer, that's the thing about him, right? With like all his other guys. Great at what he does. But I hear he's also like just a super piece of shit. Not here. He is a super piece of shit, but he also, I think it was in Apocalypse that he didn't even direct most of that movie. Like he was constantly not on set. It was like the DP directing and shit like that.
Really?
Yeah. So when he actually shows up, he does a good directing job. But you look at Apocalypse, horrible movie. The Quicksilver scene though was super fucking good.
Yeah.
Like holy shit. This one was really good too. It's the first time you meet this Quicksilver, Evan Peters. But Anyway, sorry. So X-Men, who's in it?
So the X-Men send Wolverine to the past in a desperate effort to change history and prevent an event that results in doom for both humans and mutants. Starring fucking everybody.
Yeah.
At all times, everywhere. Patrick Stewart and James McAvoy as Charles Xavier, Professor X. Ian McKellen and Michael Fassbender as Eric Magneto. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine or Logan. Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique. Peter Dinklage as Dr. Bolivar Trask. Why does he have such a weird first name? I don't know, whatever. Nicholas Hoult as Hank or the Beast. Halle Berry as Storm. Elliot Page as Kitty Pryde. Sean Ash.
I think it's not Oh, it is Elliot. Yeah, I'm sorry. I said Elliot. Yeah, his name used to be Ellen Page. Yeah. Sorry. Continue.
Can I continue, please?
Yeah, you can.
Thank you. Sean Ashmore as Iceman. I wish he would have come out to that. Omar Sy as Bishop. I was like, is that Bishop? And it's Bishop.
Yeah.
What is Bishop's power? He just absorbs shit and shoot it back at you?
He's from the future, just like Cable. But yeah, he can absorb energy. And he can convert it to...
It's funny. I'm glad you're doing this because I have a lot of questions for you, and I'm assuming you'll know.
I wrote many notes about these powers that they use. I'm like, this isn't factual.
Okay. Evan Peters, of course, is Quicksilver, and Famke Janssen looking for...
I was hoping they were going to bring back a Rebecca Romaine, too, but I don't know how you fucking could.
Yeah, you can't. That's not...
Well, you technically can, because they changed everything in the present, remember? So, like, when Wolverine comes back, he's like, welcome back, Logan.
Yeah, we have a lot of... How much time we have? Because I have a lot of questions.
Okay, go ahead.
For you. What the fuck's going on?
Okay.
Well, I know, like, a big thing with, like, comic books, and I guess it extends into the movie, especially when they do deal with, like, time travel-y kind of stuff. Because it's kind of a time travel movie, right? Yeah. It's a mental time travel movie.
His consciousness.
But it's definitely causation that's, like, they're trying to change the past in order to affect the future, stuff like that. So, like, an issue with, like, the comics is always, like, retconning stuff back to where it used to be and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So, like, in the actual comics, did Mystique grow up with Charles? No, right? Yes?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she did.
Okay. So, is Rebecca not old enough to play Mystique? Or does she age slowly like Wolverine?
That's a good question. I feel like since Mystique...
Because if that's the case, then she should be as old as...
Well, I think she can change how she looks, so she can adjust her age.
So what's her true form then?
Her true form is that blue form. When you see her in the animated series, she's like gray, and she had like the widow's peak still and stuff like that, but she wasn't all blue. But in the
that
comics,
little girl looks terrible as young Mystique.
Oh yeah,
it looks not
for that brief scene. I'm Charles, or you'll never have to run again.
Is that in the first class?
That was the first class. So. But she is blue.
Yeah.
And I would just say, she was friends with Charles growing up, just like Magneto. But Magneto, when he's like, we've been friends since we were kids, they didn't meet till they were teenagers. Like, I think even in college, technically, I think they met in the comics. Xavier and
See, now it makes me a little angry because I waited a little long to watch this. Now I kind of wish I would have went back and watched First Class again. But, it is what it is. No problem.
Yeah.
Because this takes place like 10 years after the events of that one?
Something like that.
A little bit later, right?
Because, the first one, I think, was 60s. And then this was
73 or something.
Yeah. So a little bit of time. Yeah, just not too much because, the Vietnam War had just ended in this movie, and so it's. I mean that.
Wait, when was the Cuban? Oh, we should probably know
the Cuban Missile Crisis. A little before that because Kennedy was alive.
Cuban Missile Crisis.
62.
Ooh, good call.
Yeah. It wasn't a good call. I knew it. I didn't, I guess. wholeheartly.
Kennedy dies in 63, I think, or something like that.
Whatever. And he was trying to save Kennedy. Yeah. I was trying to curve the bullet away. But so this movie.
Yeah, let's get into the movie because I don't want to get deep into the weeds of the characters because we'll just be there all day.
Yeah.
So you do like this movie?
I greatly do.
Because I remember liking it a lot, but on the second watch, it's good, and elements that I like a lot, but something about... Oh, so here's my question.
It was very Terminator 2 at the beginning, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Robots flying around. Yeah.
Very bleak.
All those dead bodies got to stink. That place has got to just stink.
Yeah.
You got dead humans. You got dead mutants.
Well, I like the explanation that they use where it's like, yes, the Sentinels were out just to get the mutants, but then they started identifying possible mutations that would occur in like humans before they happen. So they took them out too, just to completely kill all.
Yeah. Well, they weren't killing them. Like they were just capturing them. Like, so.
With their fire face?
Well, notice how they had the thing on the back. They were only doing that to them because they were like out, like trying to do shit. But the ones that they caught, like the ones at the beginning, right? That plays back because you see that one guy that has the tattoos or whatever on his face, and then that plays back to when you see him or like in the past too. So they were capturing them, and so that's the thing that Trask was doing. Obviously, you find out a lot of those mutants from First Class are dead now. So you have Butterfly, whatever the hell she was, the demon guy that was Nightcrawler's dad. Those new people that you met are just now dead, which I thought kind of sucked to write them off so shittily like that. Because even Summers, which is Cyclops' brother, who's in the Vietnam War. That's why Mystique winked at him because he was in First Class.
That's Havoc.
Yeah, in Apocalypse, he's just dead like that. And
really?
Yeah, because he gets killed by the explosion. Because he shoots at the Apocalypse. And then Apocalypse's portal goes away, and then it hits like the core, and so like he was the closest to the fire. So when Quicksilver got in there, Scott was like, "Hey, where's my brother?" He's like, "Oh, I didn't see your brother," because he saw everybody from this person beyond. So Havoc already got hit by the explosion.
Gotcha.
By the time he got there. Anyway, so what? All those mutants. I don't think all the mutants and the humans were being killed, but they had those little things on the back of their necks, so they couldn't use their powers. Okay. Do you think that one mutant, or whoever that was at the beginning, was just murdered? Because when he moves the dust off the X.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's the
he got fire-faced.
Yeah, he got fire-faced. Yeah. The way those mutants got killed was graphic. Obviously no blood, but like
the way Colossus gets just ripped in half.
Arm ripped. Well, so that's something I made a point about too. Colossus is exterior of his body becomes metal, not his whole body. Not everything about him becomes metal. So when they ripped him in half, there should have been guts. And cartilage and bones and stuff. So it's only his exterior that becomes metal. Is
he adamantium too?
No. But he's just like, if he's adamantium, they should have not been able to rip him in half. No matter what adamantium is, you cannot break it. That's why even in comics, there's a time when, because that was the thing about Magneto and Wolverine, he could just go, bye, and just throw him away. That's why he had to put the metal through his body and launch him all the way out. Which another thing, Magneto's not that strong. Like for him, even in his youth, he could not pull up a whole stadium like that and do that. It's just not. Anyway, so in the comics though, Magneto bent adamantium, and he even did that in I think the first X-Men movie. And I was like, he can't fucking do that. Like, because no matter what adamantium, no matter how strong,
once it's forged, it's indestructible.
It's set. And that was the thing about it. Like they talk about it in X2. Once it dries, you're done. It's the hardest fucking surface. That's why in the Marvel movies they use vibranium. They say same thing about vibranium. Once it's set, you can't do anything about it because they didn't have access to adamantium.
Is vibranium is the thing, an actual thing for Black Panther and Captain America.
I feel like they made that just for that because they needed that because that's what. So Captain's shield was made out of adamantium.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they couldn't say
so they're
adamantium.
not really different things. They're technically the same.
They're like the same but different, right? So they just use different wording. So I think they did that. For the Marvel movies, but now that they have Fox, I feel like they could start saying, "Oh, we ran out of vibranium. Now we got adamantium. We found another source of metal that's stronger." I mean, I don't know.
But does maybe you wouldn't know this? Does adamantium have like the technological possibilities?
I don't think so.
Like it does.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Black Panther. Like
I think it was
the
just,
source of their technology,
the power.
right?
Yeah, I think it's just the metal. Like is what it's so metal.
So you don't know.
I don't.
You're not an expert.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Why the fuck am I watching this with you?
I know.
I have so many questions.
Kitty Pryde. So that was Elliot Page. So really, her main power is she can go through walls. She can go through the floor and stuff like that. She can just become, I don't know what to call that. She's just not transparent, but like she can do whatever. And for somebody, she's not teleporting, but yeah, I know what you're saying though.
Oh, she phases.
Yeah, phase. There we go. And anybody she's touching or anything she's touching, she could do it to that object too. So that's why she was holding Bishop as running through those walls. So she does not have that power to do the conscious
mind meld, send it back.
I think something like that would be more like Psylocke, damn, Psylocke was drawn so fine, like Morgan.
Did you ever see the poster where they're like out at the pool in the back?
Of course I have.
Fuck yeah, bro.
When Jim Lee was drawing X-Men for a while, I was like, God damn, Jim, you're very generous with them titty balls. But Psylocke, I mean, hugely sexual. Even what was her name? The White Queen. super hypersexual. A lot of, I mean, that was the 90s though when the show. I mean, fucking Rogue and fucking Jean Grey, all just huge titties. They're wearing the latex or whatever it is. Like Rogue at least had the little jean jacket, or I'm sorry, the leather jacket she'd wear. Apparently, Rogue was supposed to have a much bigger role in this movie. From what I had read, Anna Paquin was supposed to be like she did a lot more scenes. They just cut it all. And but anyway, Kitty Pryde does not have these powers. She could just do the phasing.
So to get back, the original why I asked you about Mystique originally is I just don't find her like that compelling of a character.
She's super strong for some reason. Like she chokes out the dude with her foot. I'm not saying you can't do that with proper leverage, but like she seems to have immense strength too. And I don't remember her having immense strength. Her thing was just her morphing.
She serves a function in the Sentinel.
Well, she's just out there trying to function.
Yeah. She's a junction. And
truly, as you
shut the fuck up.
No, look, she's just a bill. She wants to get eradicated. Okay, eradicated. Yeah.
But like they just need her for her DNA at that point, at least in the story.
Yeah.
Do Sentinels have that ability to? Okay.
Yeah. Well, maybe like not the original Sentinels. They're just straight
big
robots.
machines, right?
Yeah. So that's why Magneto's like done. And
then another quick question: when they're in the stadium and he has like the first gen Sentinels like looking at Wolverine and Hank, like they're just standing there and it says mutant. That's an homage to the original cover of the Days of Future Past comic book, right? Okay.
Yeah. Well, the original cover for Days of Future Past, right? The comic. Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought you said that was a cover for the. I thought you were talking about like the cover of the. What am I trying to say? What are words?
What are you?
I don't know. Okay, doesn't matter.
Cover of the comic book.
Yes. When Wolverine woke up, those veins on that man he was pulsating. Like
how many push-ups do you think he did?
To get a quick pump?
Just to get a quick pump.
Yeah. No, they have some quick 40-pound dumbbells just nearby that he had to do that. And then he had to do some chin-ups and shit.
He doesn't even do like intravenous like steroids. Yeah. They just stick a fucking dildo up his ass. Like the ones that like push the jizz through.
Yeah. It's timed. Yeah, you gotta press the button.
Pumping him up, dude. Like he was so buff.
His arms looked like my dick after beating it for like 6 times. just
imagine what his dick looks like.
Oh god!
While he's jacked, he's juiced.
Well, you know he had been juicing for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Because he was already what? Let's just say
like 45.
Yeah, in this movie, and he looked amazing.
Is he that old? Maybe he's 40.
I say he's in his 50s.
Probably 50 now.
Yeah, but like he's definitely in his 50s now.
Hugh Jackman, age.
But he is Hugh jacked up, and
Jackman 54. Yeah, so he's 44.
Yeah.
Or 40, yeah, whatever.
Not to say you can't be buff like that in your 40s, but you can't be.
Everybody knows the fucking score.
Just let me say here,
unless you're the fucking Rock.
You can't be jacked like that, but you can be buff, but you with all those veins, no fucking way.
The lean, sinewy, fucking. Like he has fucking like worms of veins coming through his
like, from his shoulders down. I was like, are there veins in my shoulders?
Imagine like it feels like his skin is hot because it's so like to the touch.
Yeah, when that lady was snuggling with him, she was like, "Dude, you're seriously like a furnace right now."
Yeah,
like you're like a coal burning fucking oven.
He's fucking the bad guys in Iron Man 3 or whatever.
He had the Extremis.
Yeah,
he had Extremis. So he was hot. You know, Tony Stark. They had a throwaway thing about that. He actually cured Extremis, and they're bringing that into Secret Invasion. If you haven't been watching any of that, it's not bad. People are like giving it shit. It had low viewership and stuff like that, but I like it. Like it's an actual.
I don't even know what the concept is. I don't need to know.
All right. Well, there's an invasion. Anyway, so who'd have thought with a title called Secret Invasion, it's about an invasion.
There's an invasion going on. Not a lot of people know about it
because it's a secret. Yeah. Anyway.
Secret. So secret.
Let's see here. But his veins.
But like nuts. So like maybe it's just like, Jennifer Lawrence is kind of, and even like the dialogue in the plane is a little wooden to me.
When they're in there together after he gets Magneto?
I don't know if there's like a lot of like explaining to each other
they
are.
I put a note here.
You already know each other. What's happening here?
I put a note here, but I didn't say it. I was like, I don't need to talk about that. But I was like, whole lot of exposition in this movie.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It just rubbed me the wrong way.
It's like, I didn't do this, or here's what I did, or here's
like the best amount of acting is Hugh's just good, just in general. Like,
Hugh is always fucking good. He's always fucking on it.
And then Magneto, when he's like yelling at Charles in the plane and like the plane's getting crushed, I'm like, were you there for them, Charles? Like that one's all right.
Yeah. But, hold on, really quick about that plane. I really, really, really hope that Hugh Jackman line where he's like, "You gonna pick that shit up?" I really, really, really hope that was ad-libbed because I laughed so hard at that. Like everything's all done. And he's like, "So you gonna pick that shit up?" Just like I feel like they're like just the cut was done, and then you got Magneto. I always forget his name. What's his name?
His real name?
Yeah.
Fassbender?
Yeah, there you go. Michael Fassbender. He's just done with the scene because he's not in. He's in frame, but his face isn't. That he's just kind of waiting for the cut, and then so you gotta pick that shit up.
That's pretty good.
There's the other one too, where he said where I wonder if when they're driving the Quicksilver, and he's like, "No, pull up here." Okay, I'm driving next time. Like, I really hope that was ad-libbed too.
Well, also when like Hank is like, "Oh, I can search all 3 channels plus PBS." He's like, "Ooh, all 3 channels."
There's some silliness in this, and Evan Peters is perfect for that role too. That's why I think obviously they brought him back in WandaVision. Not that Aaron Taylor Johnson did a bad Quicksilver, but their Quicksilver. Did you hear that too?
Yeah.
Okay, their Quicksilver in Marvel not as good. I like Aaron Taylor Johnson, I do, but his effects.
Well, back to his
effects were not as good as what they did with Quicksilver. By leaps and bounds, this Quicksilver version, what they did with him.
It's interesting. Like you forget like how powerful speed is, of how powerful a power speed is to have, because in order to move fast, like you need to affect time.
Yeah.
Like when you think about it, like on a fucking special relativity level, like you have to be able to do that.
Well, that's why he just finger touches somebody. He doesn't like straight on punch. So I'm sure if he actually punched somebody, they're fucking dead.
They would A-train him.
Yeah, they just that new season's coming out soon too.
Oh, is it really?
But apparently it's going to be all episodes at once. I'm excited.
Oh, interesting.
Because I'm fine with the every week thing, but like I'll wait like 5 episodes in before I start watching or something.
I think I even talked about like the light train experiment, like from the thought experiment that Einstein had. Light being able to travel that fast because it like literally slows down time. Like light travels through time, not in time or whatever the explanation is. But super interesting. But yeah, the Quicksilver in the Marvel, it's just like he's just a dude who just kind of goes fast.
Yeah, you don't really have many scenes. Like he's just like that blue little blur, and he has a little.
Even Justice League dealt with it better.
The Flash,
with
the Flash is good. Yeah,
like he's actually affecting like traveling so fast. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like when that Quicksilver scene came out, that was a big highlight of the movie too. Just even though on the scale of it. Not that big, right? He was just in the room circling around it. But what he did...
But like the fucking song is fucking perfect, dude.
And even the song is great in Apocalypse. It's playing
what song is it?
It's dun 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 dun. Sweet dream. It's I'm pretty sure it's
Eurythmics.
Yeah. There you go. And it's obviously
You're pretty close.
A much larger No, it's like you do higher.
That's it.
Do you know how good I am at whistling? Like I can fucking whistle the shit out of a tune.
You better whistler or snapper?
Whistler.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you really?
I'm good in my mouth.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you are. What does he say? Fucking you guys. Yeah, like dinosaurs. Anyway. Quicksilver though, a very big highlight of the movie.
He's such a fucking smart ass.
Oh yeah, and
I love how like Wolverine likes him too.
Yeah, well they are friends. They truly are. And when he's like, I knew him when he was older, because when you meet Quicksilver in the comics, he's already gray haired. He's much older. He ages a little faster.
Gray hair in this too.
Well, yeah, but I mean like okay, that's valid. But like he's just older.
He's older, yeah.
And so the thing is, they allude to it a little bit, but. Magneto is the father of Quicksilver and of Scarlet Witch. And so I think that's the baby that they had in their room. But their age gap in the comics isn't that big. Like they're twins in the comics. So I think that child that the mom had there in the scene and then that the Quicksilver's holding at the end of the movie when they're watching Magneto do his thing, I think that's supposed to be established as...
What? Wait, what are you talking about?
The scene where they're watching.
Yeah.
Evan Peters is holding a baby.
Oh, that's supposed to be.
I believe that's supposed to be a Scarlet Witch.
Gotcha.
Supposed to be Maximoff. What the fuck's her first name? Scarlet Maximoff. No, that's not her first name. But
Victoria.
No, fuck. Wanda Maximoff.
You stupid. How do you know?
I get it. So when Mystique gets those mutants out, right?
I wonder what her name was. I can't remember.
Fuck. Hotel Rwanda. That comes up to my. So Stryker, though,
starring Don Cheadle, who is it all comes
he's
together.
He's a Skrull. So Stryker, when he wakes up and he's like, where are those people that were in there? And they got off on that plane. He couldn't just go, get me a radio, and just say, hey, can you bring that plane back around?
Yeah.
And he just lets him go.
That doesn't bother me that much.
Okay. Let me see. I put the ad-lib part when they're driving.
Oh, here's a question for you then. So Wolverine wakes up in the future again. At least his conscious does. Now he remembers everything.
No, he didn't wake up in the future. He never woke up in the present. He only started to wake up in the past.
What?
So when
at the end of the movie, he gets his conscious comes back.
I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about the part where he. Okay, good. When he saw Stryker, I thought you were talking about.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but that's Mystique pretending to be
which
Stryker.
Makes no sense.
That's what I'm saying.
Makes no sense.
So
it led to nothing.
So this future Wolverine doesn't have adamantium. Then
he does. You'd have to.
Then
they don't establish it though. They don't show. He doesn't whoop out his claws like, oh, okay, cool.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So that's if
Mystique
there's no payoff.
Is pretending to be Stryker.
There's no payoff for that.
That means he did not go through the.
My exact note is
Project X. Project X.
That ending led to nothing because in Apocalypse led to nothing because Wolverine wasn't even in that one. But then that just means, does that mean that she becomes Stryker for the time being and then does all that stuff to Wolverine?
To rescue Wolverine?
I don't know.
Wolverine goes through none of that trauma then?
I don't know. They don't establish anything.
But he had already gone through some trauma in the 70s. Well, he's already lived 2 lifetimes by that point.
Well, then the other problem was this.
He was in like World War I too, right?
He's been Civil War. Yeah, he's been on for a long time, yeah. So the other problem with this is at the end of the second Wolverine movie, which, not Logan, but whatever it was called. The
Japanese one?
Yeah. At the end of it, Professor X and Magneto are there. And he sees Magneto first. He's like, what the fuck are you doing here? And then Xavier freezes everybody. And he's like, oh, we got something we got to talk about. And they show Trask in the background, like on the TV. And I was like, okay, but that was present time. And that was present Wolverine.
Not future Wolverine.
Not future Wolverine.
Shit had already been going down.
Past Wolverine, yeah. And so I was like, what is happening? So if you really think of the time, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but if you think of the timeline of all this shit of how it's going on, that movie came out right before Days of Future, or not days before, but a little before First Class. And so... Wait,
they show Trask as Dinklage?
No, but they talk about Trask. They're like, Trask Industries this, and they're showing the Sentinels and stuff like that. And I'm thinking that let's just say, it's modern. It came out...
The timelines, they
of all the
can't
X-Men
all
are
lined
fucked up.
up.
Right. That's why I think they started over with X-Men First Class, because Logan had nothing to do with the second Wolverine. Like, they didn't talk about any of that shit. Because almost all the mutants are fucking dead now, and because Professor. But
it is kind of sad. Like at the end, in Logan, if that's the timeline, the movie Logan.
Yeah.
Like Professor kind of ends in has a sad life in that too, right?
Well, because he's having those seizures, and he's from my understanding is he killed the X-Men because when he had those, like Wolverine can heal. So as Professor is having those seizures and shit, that he can get through those because his body's still healing. But Cyclops, everybody else around couldn't, and then he obviously can't control them. So it was even humans that are getting fucked with that stuff too. And so only Wolverine.
So why didn't he have Wolverine kill him?
I mean, he's like a father to Wolverine, And so he's taking his medicine.
Does Wolverine think he can help him?
Oh, well, he was. He was giving him the medicine, and he was able to just avoid those things.
So they go back in time to save the X-Men from the bleak future that is the Sentinels, only to have Professor X end up killing everybody anyway.
Yeah, but they don't know that, because at that point,
I know, but I'm just saying it's bleak.
Ultimately, yeah,
it's pretty fucking bleak.
Well, Professor X becomes fucking not Apocalypse. Professor X becomes Onslaught in the comics. And Onslaught is because Professor X
Onslaught was a bad guy.
He is. Oh, yeah. So Professor X becomes Onslaught and he kills many, many people. And then Wolverine helps kill Onslaught too, and ultimately killing Professor. Because Professor's brain is he's so strong, right? He can literally freeze people and all that shit. And at that time, Professor's brain, he wasn't as strong as McAvoy. But as Old Man Professor, he's strong, but his brain, he doesn't heal. That's why they send Wolverine back. So he can do a lot, but he can't stop robots. You know what I mean? They ain't got no brains and shit. And so what the fuck are you gonna do? But him and Jean Grey is still stronger than him, power wise, but mentally wise, Professor's stronger. But she harnessed
because she's a woman, like you were saying.
You know what I'm saying? She could heat up.
She's playing Animal Crossing while Professor X is playing Call of Duty. We've established this is what you think women.
Exactly.
This is what you think of women, Brandon.
Exactly.
God.
Where's my sandwich? Let's see. You want to pick all that shit up? Bending bullets like some wanted shit. So like he
bends the bullet out.
How does he know where the fuck she? Like, yes, she jumps out, but he doesn't know the trajectory that she jumped. She could have been like, whew, and been like out of that window because apparently she's super fucking strong, right? She could jump through a window, which would have cut her the fuck up, and fall 3 stories, and she lands like, hey, what's up? Like, if she didn't get hit in the calf, she would have got up and like, bye, and like, but people still would have saw the bitch in all blue. Like, what the fuck is happening here?
I do like how they keep it up that entire movie. Like, she's just fucking limping the entire fucking time.
Yeah, there's a couple. There's a couple points she didn't. But like, I don't know, maybe but I did like that she's like leaving the the stadium or whatever, and she's like hobbling out. Let's see. Like Homer when he gets out of the car. Let's see. So they go to Cerebro and he blows dust off of that. I'm like, to get that kind of amount of dust, that's got to be so
like 9 years or whatever.
I don't think it's been that long. I think I know we talked about it a little bit ago. I feel like it's been 5 years. Max. I don't think
62 to 73?
Do we know when First Class took place? Look at when First Class took place.
It's the Cuban Missile Crisis. It's 1962.
Okay. And this one said 72?
73 or something like that.
But I don't know it's been that whole time, though. I don't think it's been the whole time.
It's 11 years, bro.
All right. Anyway, that's a lot of dust. And it's an enclosed room made of like metal tiles. Where is that dust coming from?
I think you would have some type of filtration because he doesn't want...
Not only that, you don't need filtration in there. You don't need AC in there. It's an enclosed circular room.
Why would you not need AC?
You're only in there like that. Like you're just paid. Let me put that helmet on real quick. Let me find out. I know that. Let's see here.
It's like the same room as Mission Impossible. You need air filtration and shit like that because how else is fucking Tom Cruise supposed to come down?
I thought it'd be funny as if, I know they practically did that with Tom Cruise with cables. That'd be funny if there's just a guy in a green screen suit laying there and he just lands on him. He's like, "You're doing great, Tom. You're doing great." He's just on the guy moving. Yeah, exactly.
Just 4 dudes in green, like holding him by his arms and legs.
Does this look real? James McAvoy is great. Like he
seemed like a little bitch.
In this, well, yeah. He's on drugs. He lost Raven or Mystique, you want to call her, and loses your best friend.
Were they ever a thing?
I don't remember that, but maybe. I think they kind of sort of established that they had that love, but obviously later's like, I'm done trying to control you.
Yeah, like, it's funny the flashbacks to X-Men 3, like when Logan has to kill Jean.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that is pretty resonant. Maybe I should go back and watch that. Maybe it's not as bad as I remember. Or is it?
It's pretty bad. I saw it in theaters, I think with you and Bryan. I think Coops. I think Coops was there.
For X-Men 3?
I think. Because I think we saw Spider-Man.
What makes it terrible? I don't remember. Because there's no apocalypse. It's looking everything. Ridiculous.
Right.
It can't be that bad.
Just go ahead and watch it then.
All right.
Then tell me.
It's not Dark Phoenix, right? It's not that bad, right?
Well, that's Dark Phoenix.
I know, but it's the movie Dark Phoenix with fucking the girl from Game of Thrones.
No.
The latest one.
That's what X3 is.
I know.
Okay.
But remember, there was a Dark Phoenix movie.
Yes.
The latest
Wasn't that called X3 Dark Phoenix?
I don't remember.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the one that came out only a few years ago.
I understand. That one was really bad too. But I feel
what timeline does that take place in?
They just can't get Phoenix right.
Who were the other people in that movie with her?
I think that was like late 80s because Apocalypse was like 80s. So I think this might have been 90s and they all still look fabulous and not aged at all. Let's see here.
Like how Halle Berry has like 3 lines. That's fun.
That's too bad too because she's great. Well, she's like in the first X-Men movie again. She had like 4 lines in that movie.
That's right.
It's fucking shit. Let's see here.
Does she have an accent?
She's supposed to. She's supposed to, yeah. Magneto playing Operation because when he puts the metal through all those horribly CGI'd Sentinels. Like in that those special effects looked as bad as the Power Rangers movie when they were like this.
Oh yeah,
like, it looked really bad. Like I think that's why they made it so dark when he was putting all the metal through it. But that looked like shit, and that's not how Magneto's powers work. Like Magneto can control things that are metal.
Yeah, he's like rewiring their circuitry with metal.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck is this? He's using metal from the railroad, and then he's finally threading it. Yeah, like threading it to put through that. But I'm like, how is he controlling this shit?
He's putting like little jumpers in like the circuit boards
or something. Is he welding?
It's on mutant. Now it's on human.
Yeah, like I don't. What the fuck is? So he's playing magnet, but again, I also but his powers don't work that way. Like he can.
Also, he can't manipulate metal down to its molecular level.
I don't believe so. Like so what he did in the second X movie, right? There was Mystique put the metal in the guy's body. He's you got a little more metal in you, and he pulled it through his skin. He could do something like that. That's pretty. Which bad. It's pretty gnarly. That was pretty gnarly. You think a woman like that would get with you? You fucking fuck. Which again, Rebecca Romaine still looks fabulous to this day. Did you see the thing for Skims for Jenny McCarthy and Carmen Electra? They look still great, but like super fake. But I mean, Carmen Electra was kind of fake as this. So. But I don't believe he's that precise. The robot special effects is horrible. So, is it established that in the future they've been awake for 4 days? Like Kitty's been awake just doing that shit to Wolverine for 4 days straight? Because what the fuck is that about?
That's true. Yeah, I don't know.
Because you think, okay, does time go slower in the future?
Sitting in a bucket of piss, like what?
Hey, we're gonna feed you, okay? And it's dirt. No, what are they feeding them? And does that mean all those X-Men were just standing there for 4 days, just waiting for the Sentinels to get there? Like, that was kind of confusing to me.
Yeah, I don't know. If it's time for time, minute by minute, minute by minute.
Past Wolverine is fucked because let's just say he wakes up, right? He doesn't know what the fuck happened. Like he's waking up in the water, like. How did I just drown? And what is this? How is this metal in me and stuff like that? He's not gonna know fuck of anything. Now I'm sure if Mystique is cool, like, hey man, here's what happened. But like, I guess it's establishing that she's gonna do the Mutant X. Like, is that gonna?
I don't know. That part that's the most way off part. Like, wait, what? Why?
Yeah. So that ending.
It would have been fine if it was just actually Stryker, right?
Exactly.
Like, okay,
perfectly fine. Makes sense. Like, he's taking him to the Mutant X program, or Mutant X. Let's see here.
Oh, did I say Project X? Sorry.
It is Project X. Oh, you know what? I don't know if it's Mutant X or Project X. Either one, there's an X in it.
All I know is I used to have the toy where it came with the helmet, and he was just in like.
And he had the tubes on him and stuff like that. Yeah. They did that. Oh, they did that in That was a good playback. In Apocalypse, they did that. I think, or it was Apocalypse. So
this just makes me want to watch Logan. Actually.
Yeah, well, so they're breaking out somebody, and it's Jean, it's Scott, and it's Nightcrawler, and they're helping him escape. They're in somewhere, and then Jean releases Wolverine as Mutant X or Project X, and then she kind of like helps him a little bit, like she does some shit with his mind, and then he kind of like, and then he goes and like slaughters all like the scientists, and then he just gets out. And
that seems familiar, kind of.
Yeah, that was a good scene. No, it's PG-13, so there's no like violence to it or anything like that. Because that wasn't in First Class, and because I was just informing, and Jean Grey wasn't in First Class. Yeah. So yeah, it was Apocalypse because that's where you meet Cyclops. That's where you meet all those fuckers. Why were they there? Oh, because they were okay. I remember because after the mansion scene where it blows up, and they or before that. They take those few people, and then they're like, oh, they took them here, and Mystique's like, we gotta fucking get them. Anyway, this movie though, I like it a lot. It's graphic and obviously no blood, but the way some of them are killed. Like, and the thing is, so Storm got like the arm Terminator 2 T-1000 through the body, but do you think that would instantly kill somebody?
No,
I don't think so either. Even though it's a very large thing that went through you. But like, I don't think you'll die instantly. And so when he throws her, she's already dead. And I'm thinking,
she's going into shock.
But he didn't rip her in half. But she was like, just like floating. And I'm thinking, okay, Storm can fly. So I'm hoping if she's still alive, use your, maybe like swing back up and just lightning strike and just, get all those guys. I say lightning strike that way because did you ever see that old video where the guy's like lightning bolt? And oh fuck, dude, they were doing a LARPing. And this guy, he was like a mage or something like that, and he had these like a fanny pack of balls, like these, like they weren't rubber, but like just little foam balls or whatever. And he was throwing them at the other people, and he was like, lightning bolt, and he just kept throwing them at the guy, saying lightning bolt. And then the last one, you go sleep, and if you get hit with it, you got to go to sleep. And that was, oh man, that was like maybe early 2000s. I saw that when LARPing was more so ridiculed. Now, not so much because people cosplay and do all that shit, so it's not as bad. But which cosplay is LARPing, and people don't talk about that because when you're dressing up as a Jedi, you're dressing up as whatever.
I don't understand what the fuck you're talking about right now.
Do you know what LARPing is?
No.
What? Didn't you see Role Models?
Okay.
Live action role play.
Oh, okay.
LARPing. And
why'd you say that then?
Because you should know what the abbreviation. Okay. So cosplaying to me is still LARPing because you're being that character.
Yeah, but you're not playing a story.
You don't have to have a story. We have lightsabers, right? If I were to dress up as a Jedi.
Wait, so our Civil War reenactors, the original,
yes, they are LARPing
role players.
They are LARPing.
Sick.
In my opinion, they are LARPing. So, in my opinion, is sail tail and it's done.
I am playing General Rooster T. McGuthers.
When Conan did, the plane flying overhead.
What demon is it? The baseball type.
Yeah, Conan is the best when he's just ad-libbing.
I heard the episode with Harrison Ford that he just did on Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. It was super fucking good. Like Harrison's
Harrison's such a fucking asshole.
That's what I'm saying. Like normally he is. Yes, I agree. But apparently he's like real lively, like making fun of Conan the whole time, and like they're having a good time. Okay, I want to listen to it.
Well, like when Bill Hader, Bill Hader's with Conan, they have a good time too. Yeah. Like Bill is just, I know he suffers from a few things, but when he's like on, like he's fucking good.
Kevin Nealon same way, like just
constantly
making fun of Conan.
And Kevin Nealon though, he wasn't our SNL, right? Like he's too old. Yeah, he's too early. But like, still seeing the greatness when he's with Sandler and stuff, and the things that he'll do in Weeds. I only saw the first season of Weeds, and I hear that's the only one you really want to watch. But like, he's good. He's a good witty guy. But I just see him as just a weird fucking dude. But anyway, Mike, did you like this movie?
Yes. Like I said, I remember it being a little bit better. Okay. Like just some of the character stuff and the dialogue kind of threw me off a little bit, but Wolverine's always great. So
fucking A. You can't. I don't think there's many Hugh Jackman movies.
I just want to touch his arm just to see how bumpy
after he jacks. He's jacking up again, or he jacked up for Daredevil too.
Oh, is he?
So or not Daredevil? I'm sorry.
He's fucking 50
Deadpool.
Something now.
Yeah,
but The Rock's like 45, right?
I don't know. But he's also like 6'6" and like just huge Samoan dude. And Hugh Jackman's this Australian 5'5" motherfucker. Actually, he's not 5'5". He's not. But Wolverine is. Wolverine's supposed to be like 5'5", and because he's Canadian. Yeah. And anyway, so I'm glad you liked this movie. We liked Roger Rabbit, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. We never decided what our next movies are going to be.
Well, Young Frankenstein.
Okay, Young Frankenstein.
And is Zoolander available anywhere?
I'll put it in the bio on what's next. So it's Young Frankenstein, then Young Frankenstein it is. Yeah. I was telling Mike, everybody, that maybe we'll do a special.
We haven't done it yet, have we?
No, Young Frankenstein, no. That maybe we'll do a special.
No, it'll be the big.
Okay, fine. We'll talk about it. Okay, fine. Never mind. Anyway, so everybody, thank you for listening. You can make movie suggestions. If you want to make something for Z, no, we're already going to decide by the time you listen to this, so I'm sorry. But if you want to... if you have another theme that we want to do for next season, let us know. Maybe a whole season of horror. Maybe a whole season of animated... You don't like... Not animated.
Rom-coms.
Fuck that. You just don't watch a lot of animated movies, huh?
Animated?
Animated?
Animated or anime?
Either one.
No.
Can we do a season?
Oh! You just reminded me.
Like a couple of Studio Ghibli. Oh my god!
Can we watch like the major ones that I've never seen? Princess Mononoke and fucking
if they're available,
Spirited Away and Howls and all that shit.
Well, we don't. Well, if you watch the studio ones, there's only like 8 of those.
Oh, you know what I want to watch because I heard it's a fucking super bummer. Grave of the Fireflies.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like the saddest.
Is it recent?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's old.
What's the one where the atomic bomb goes off?
And they show like
the graphically getting like destroyed.
I don't remember what else.
That was fucking rough. I remember seeing that on Reddit. I was like,
but I believe Grave of the Fireflies has to do with World War II as well, so it's super sad.
Okay, sweet. So it's uplifting.
Yeah. Okay. But you just reminded me when you're talking about animated movies. If we're doing Young Frankenstein, that's cool. We're allowed to do Disney stuff, right?
Yeah.
Let's do Zootopia.
I actually just recently saw that movie again too.
Fuck yeah, it's super funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Young Frankenstein and Zootopia. That's our second animated movie because the first was Akira.
A to Z, bro. Working out everything, falling in place. Akira. Working out everything, falling in place.
Okay, so
motherfucker, here we go.
You can make suggestions for us for the next season
time to go.
Of Specrapular.
Spectacular.
You can email us at specrapular@gmail.com.
This is how we're ending it all day long. Everybody, hey, having fun. Never gonna.
Is that how you want to take us away?
Never gonna laugh because it's all done.
Okay, bye.